Hi everyone, it's Gabby
and Charlotte
from the Kia Hyundai channel, and today I have a 2024 Kia Sorento X-Line Limited.
and a 2024 Kia Sorento X-Line.
And today we're going to compare the two trims together, show you what comes in what trim.
Let's get into it. All right, so we're going to start off with the 2024 Kia Sorento X-Line.
But wait, isn't the X-Line and the X-Line Limited very similar?
Yeah, actually, they have a ton of things that are the same. In fact, from the outside, you might even think that these are the same car. Both of them are going to have LED headlights. They're both going to have front and rear parking sensors. They've got the same wheels, increased ground clearance, and a ladder-style type roof rack. You know what else is the same? The powertrain. These vehicles are going to share the same 2.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder GDI engine with an 8-speed dual-clutch transmission, giving us an output of 281 horse and 311 pound-feet of torque. Where some of the differences are really going to lie, that's going to come on the interior. And if you guys are curious to see a full and complete walkthrough of this vehicle, don't worry, we've done a video on it. But let's come around to the side. Now this vehicle is showcased in black, so it's going to be hard to show you some of those blacked out accents, but Gabby will be able to show you those, such as our side garnishes, our mirrors, and also our roof racks. But to get into the vehicle, we do have our keyless entry, so we have a little black pad here that you simply tap to lock and unlock your vehicle. Now let's take a look inside. Both of these vehicles are going to share the same configuration of having 6 seats with captain's chairs in our second row. They're also going to have very similar details on the interior because of that X-Line interior package. So for example, they're going to have a wood grain trim with some quilted elements on the side, and that's something I love about the X-Line vehicles is they're integrating more earthy and a little bit more of that rugged element, which goes with its overall exterior style. Now, a huge difference that we are going to see has to do with the seats, and I'll have Gabby show those. As you can see, they are a leatherette, but they are not quilted. However, you're still going to get a powered driver's seat, which is going to be incredibly comfortable, and you also have the inclusion of lumbar support. Both of these seats are also going to be heated, but not quite ventilated. But in the second row, your captain's chairs, those are also going to be heated. So you know that whoever's sitting in the back there is going to be very comfortable. Another difference that we see has to do with our screens. So as you can see, the vehicle is currently turned off. I'm going to turn it and put it into accessory mode. And although we're still operating on our new software, both vehicles are, in the center we don't have this huge 12.3-inch screen for our instrument cluster, we only have the 4.2-inch screen. Now for our infotainment, we're still going to keep it consistent with that 12.3 with the new software with the capacity for over-the-air updates.
Does this one have nav?
It does have integrated navigation. I'm so glad you asked, and yes, that does start on this trim. So you'll also see it on Gabby's. Another feature that is introduced on the X-Line trim has got to be the panoramic sunroof. And guys, when I say panoramic, I mean it. This thing is massive. So let's open it all the way up. Now it's not going to open up for the full duration of this glass, only the front half is going to open. And the nice thing is that you also have a cargo little bug net, not cargo net, bug net. That way insects aren't tempted to come inside. It kind of screens them for you. So that's really going to include some of the main differences in this vehicle. Let's see what the X-Line Limited has to offer.
All right, so Charlotte did a great job mentioning everything that comes in the X-Line and what is similar to the X-Line Limited. But let me show you some of the things that are exclusive to this premium trim. So come take a closer look. This is very similar to what we had in the last model year called the SX. So this is where you're gonna get that fully loaded, luxurious, yet rugged and refined experience. So if you take a look at the very center of our blacked out grille, that is very similar to the X-Line, you'll notice this is new, and that is our front camera. So that's gonna be utilized for a couple different things. These front sensors up here, once I get close to something like, say, a wall, it's gonna trigger that front camera and show me just how much room I have and what is around me. On top of that, there's 3 more cameras peppered throughout this vehicle that's gonna combine into one image or a 360 camera, making parking a breeze with this vehicle. Another thing that's different, we get 2 vertically stacked LED fog lights. So that's exclusive to this trim and the trim above. Very nice to have on a vehicle like this, especially if you are taking it on some adventures. Charlotte didn't mention the fact that these are both all-wheel drive vehicles, but they are. It's actually standard here in Canada, and you do get terrain modes like snow, mud, and sand. We'll show you that inside. Wheels are the same, like Charlotte said, but I will point out, obviously the X-Line, it was all blacked out, even the paint, so you can see a lot more of the accents on this vehicle. Our wheel wells are black. We have this element right over here, and if you take an even closer look, you'll notice that there's a matte and glossy finish. So that's very hidden depending on what kind of exterior paint color you choose. Your mirrors are blacked out, you get a turn signal indicator, and just like I mentioned, you get more cameras peppered throughout the vehicle. So we get 1, actually 2, for both of our side view mirrors. Now that is going to show you what's in your blind spot, but also work together for that 360 camera like I mentioned earlier. Roof rails are the same, so that raised appearance, and you still have that same increased ground clearance as 33 millimeters. So big difference. We'll come along to the back. Rear parking sensors. This vehicle actually has parking sensors on the front, side, and rear, giving you a full parking distance warning around the vehicle. You'll see that on your main menu as you're driving your car, and I will show you when we hop in. A couple more things I want to point out. Obviously, a lot of a rugged design. You're going to get the same X-Line badging that we get in just the straight X-Line. That's where things get a little confusing. And we get our silver painted skid plates along the front and the back. Let's take a look inside now. But before we get inside, let's talk about how we can even do that. So on this vehicle, you may notice there's no black button here, something that we're used to having on our cars. There's actually just an indent. So this is going to allow me to still lock and unlock my car having the key on me, but it also takes it one step further, incorporating digital key to touch. Essentially, I can unlock, start, and drive my car just by using my smartphone or my smartwatch. Pretty handy. But let's take a look inside now. Inside is where things definitely get that more luxurious touch. So even just looking at the door, you'll notice we have memory seats, express windows for passengers and the driver. So one touch and it's down or up. And then just below that, we have our premium Bose sound system. Bose does an amazing job with their sound. I love having it on the Sorento. Now when it comes to the seat, things get even more different. Let's take a quick look at the design. If you can remember what the X-Line looked like, it was still a very plush and luxurious design, but this one has some quilting and some debossing for an X-Line badge. This again separates it from the rest of the Sorento or SUV crowd, makes it a little more fun. Now when it comes to configuration, there's a couple different ways you can do so, and it is powered. So you get 4-way lumbar support, our backrest adjustment, bottom of the seat adjustment, and new, we get a driver knee extender, so it's tall, driver approved. Best part about this, like I mentioned earlier, they're memory seats, so it's saved with the touch of a button. But do you know what else is saved? Your mirror configuration. Not only do these mirrors, of course, save to your memory seats, they're also power folding. So when you lock your vehicle, they're going to tuck in, or if you're just parked in a busy street, you can always manually do that. Really, really nice to see. We also have a power passenger seat, which I won't show you in this video, but believe me, it's there. And we get ventilated seats for the driver and passenger. I'm gonna hop in and talk about some of the technology and what are the differences between our previous model. So from behind the wheel, you can see it's very similar to the X-Line in the sense we got that wood paneling, the beautiful leather up steering wheel, it's heated. But take a look at this gauge cluster. It looked like it was fully digital on the X-Line, but this one is the true fully digital experience. All 12.3 inches, it is driver information. So there's no separation here. You get your speed limit projected, obviously your distance to empty, that kind of thing, and you can change the graphics. Steering wheel is exactly the same. Very, very nice to have, very luxe feeling. And then for our screen over here, it's the same as the X-Line. So a 12.3 inch display, we get built-in navigation and quick access to all of your driver safety settings. Did I mention that this vehicle has highway drive assist number 2? That means it can actually change lanes for you with a signal of a turn. I also mentioned that I'll show you guys our camera. So let's turn on the engine and do that. Blind view monitor, every time I go to indicate a turn, it's gonna show me right over there. And then if I wanted to see all around my vehicle, I can summon my 360 camera, or as soon as you throw it into reverse, it comes on anyway. Here's what else is different.
The back seat.
Yeah, so Charlotte, what is different about the back seats here?
So as you can see, we still have that same 6-seater captain chairs configuration, but for our seats, even in the back, we're gonna have some nice quilted touches. Also, and I'll turn it around here, that way it's easier to see, we have a integrated sunshade. See if I can get
it's always
that
hard to put on.
with one hand. There we go. So there we go. So that is also new on the X-Line Limited, and then we're keeping it consistent with the same heated seats.
So that sums up our quick review of the Sorento X-Line versus the X-Line Limited. Thank you guys so much for watching.
And if you haven't already, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the Kia Hyundai channel, and leave a comment down below of what vehicles you want to see us compare next.
Bye. Just gonna film our outro.
Hello, YouTube. How are you today?
No, it's an outro.
Goodbye, YouTube.
Can we
Buy a car
end
from
it with
us.
that? Please, 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 please.